Hi, so I pray you all are having a wonderful evening. I decided to go live because y'all know me. I'm just, well, I pray good morning, just depending on what side of the world you're on. Wanted to hop on because a bit going on in my world today. So I wanted to share that with you all today. If you want to tap in on the live and shoot your comments my way, I'm all about uh, connecting, of course, and just being a bit accessible. Tell me yesterday, they said, Crystal, if I would have known your books were as good as they are, I would have been started. Am I really like that? that bad? So I wanted to essentially just hop on here and honestly connect with you for a little bit before I have to jump. I look like I'm looking in a different way. I'm looking at the screen, making sure that I can see you and you can see me well. And actually, but I wanted to come on because I am doing a weekly book club called the Growing Book Club, and share just some of those this evening if you have time. And one of the things that we are working on in this year is called Keys to Think Yourself Happy. And essentially within this book, I talk really how happy people can ultimately stay happy. I deal with the issues that the demeanor kind of go through and the challenges we face, particularly being happy people. And I wanted to give you resources and do to essentially help you maintain your happiness. And then, of course, happy, how can you obtain what are the keys to essentially think yourself happy? Because let's be honest, not everything happening in our lives or around us. So, what do I do? What can I encourage? I essentially wrote this book. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, but of course, knowing what's at the back of the book tends to help us a lot too, right? So, he does this book cover, and ultimately, choosing to be a lifestyle choice. I'm going to say it again. It's a lifestyle. It's not about what other people do to make you happy or what other people should have done, could have done. It's ultimately what are you choosing to be. You might say, well, Crystal, I choose to be happy, but I ain't happy. Get to that. But I want you to first be open to being happy. You'll be surprised. They want happiness, but they don't necessarily. I know it sounds strange. Have you heard of that? Well, read the Bible, and in one particular part, there was a gentleman that was trying to get into the water because water, and whenever it does, whoever got into the water, whole. They will essentially get, if you will, their wish, if you want to see it that way, but ultimately they will get a healing that they were. The Messiah, aka Yeshua, Jesus, came by. He asked the gentleman, do you want to be made whole? Well, every time I try to get in the water, somebody keeps, I can't get in the water, so I can't be made whole. He says, do you want to be made whole? Why he couldn't get in the water, he didn't ask him all of the extra information he volunteered, or even the excuses he decided to share for why he was in his state was of no interest. What was of the greatest interest was, do you want to be made whole? So I ask you today, do you want to be made happy? Do you want to be happy? Because, and it is one that only you can make. Be happy, and I'm going to be happy. You know what? I love what Melvina says, color high water. You know, she is who she is. And you can be who you do choose to be. But it's like when we get older, we lose those really good inspirational songs and we start replacing them with mindsets, thinking, and thoughts that say, well, you know, I could be happy if this happens or that happens. And now our happiness is something else or someone else. And that's when happiness can become hard or difficult. able to have or maintain. And I would even say it changes you see happiness altogether. So choosing to be happy is a lifestyle choice. It is the very first choice you need and must make. It says on the back, it says life reigns on the just and the unjust. Of course, this is a biblical truth. It will rain on all of things, not so good things that happen to all of us. How we respond is ultimately helps us determine if happiness is our end game. Else is. If depression is your end game, you will find a way to get there. There, you can think yourself there. You can deserve to be there. It's so many ways that we can essentially accept a million and one things other than being encouraged you that even though some of these or all of these things are possible, could be true for a moment, doesn't have to be your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be long term. It can be temporary because everything what happens under the sun. Everything happens and everything can what change. So if you have a mindset of seeking happiness, or what I would like to say joy, which is a never ending happiness because it goes beyond with you being content what's happening in the moment. I'll talk a bit more about that, but let's focus on the just and the unjust. Okay, so being happy is not a choice you make because thing happening. Sometimes it is a choice you must. Absolute terror. I'm gonna say that again. It's a choice you have to make, even in some of these weird situations. Sometimes you are absolutely terrified. Sometimes you are complete. Sometimes you are filled with pain, and you may even be suffering. You might say, when I'm terrified, frustrated, in pain, or suffering. And I want to tell you that it is possible. When you know what's ahead of you, when the Messiah was on the cross, surely it was one of the best days of his life because he knew what he was doing on the cross. When we know what we are doing in a moment, even though we may be frustrated, suffered, it can still bring us joy because what we know this won't last always. When a woman is giving birth to a baby, it is all of those things, suffering, in pain, frustrated with the fact you're here. You're glad you're here because that means your baby will be in soon and be in good health. So the work you've been doing this past 9 months will turn to something great. It will be something that really breathe, walk, move, and you get to pour your love member of your family, someone you all can love on and be, and etc. So I want to encourage you that life is more than sometimes what we can be and etc. And I want to encourage you to what you are believing for, because whatever you are looking for, you're gonna find it. We need to look for what we want to find based on what we don't. Ain't it amazing that sometimes people can spend the absolute most time worried about the things that honestly don't do them any good? They are worried about stuff that they can't change, probably ain't gonna change, instead of focusing on the. And so I want to encourage you today, if you've been thinking about stuff that honestly is not doing you no kind of good, try to give it a whirl. Try to give it a whirl to try to change it up. So when Paul was faced, when Paul was to face the judge alone, he thought himself. I went through for a second. I mean, the brother was shipwrecked. He got bit by a cobra. People didn't like him, and then he was a new believer. People still murder or killing Christians or believers. They stayed away from him, and even the believers didn't know how to receive him. So he was rejected by those that he was running with, and rejected by those he now believes like. So he was, and then he was chosen to write most of the New Testament. That says he was the least among the apostles, became the greatest contributors to what we read today. And I would say that is amazing. It really is. And so then we say, when he made and challenged on every side, he had to know how to think himself happy, because all of these instances don't make you happy. The thought of being bit by a snake alone is enough for me to be like, no, But then he prayed through from his own side removed, and the Father said, "My grace is sufficient." So now, not only is he going through all, also has a thorn in his side that won't remove because the Father says, "He's good. You'll be all right." Some of us are praying for things to go going away. It's not a damper on your power or the Father loving you. Some people will say, "Well, he didn't heal me, so he's not a healer." No, maybe he says his grace is sufficient for you. I know we might not want to hear that because it doesn't sound good, but what if that is your lot in life? What if lean on him so you will seek him, so you won't become puffed up and more of yourself than you ought to, and then walk away from him. So he knows what each of us need position for what he's called you to do. Was assigned to do was a great work, and it'd be real easy for people to what want to worship him, want to come to him and ask him like he's God. Them say, okay, he definitely ain't God. It allows people to say, well, he does heal people. So then that means whatever he's speaking in has the power and not him. So it allows everything about us that happens and doesn't happen is the Father's way of using you as a living sacrifice. As he says in Romans, be a living vessel, willing to encourage others, help people, do this stuff, living typically. Paul prayed 3 times for the thorn to be removed from his side, and Yah's response was sufficient. He learned to think himself happy and be content with a little or a lot. This is the key to happiness. Happiness is not about having every single sun, but being open to having what you know you need and must have, knowing the other things to be on chill. Because sometimes it all ain't going to come to the president you want. You might not get the, some of the simpler things you want in life, but that doesn't mean shut down through everyone on trying to be happy. You can be happy in spite of, other in your life. And honestly, it's one of the find your true sense of peace. True sense of peace will bring you joy. And that's what you really want to find as a happy person. You need to know what brings you joy. And when you know what brings you joy, when you're not sad, frustrated, suffering, in pain, mad, you can think on those things and make yourself happy. You see that? This book right here deals with a thing is worth any happy person to go back over, to go back through, especially if you are going through some challenging times, difficult people. Doing this book, I had a really interesting person that I was working with that was not trying to make me happy at all. Very challenging. But the Father allowed her to show me something. The keys I needed to know to stay happy despite people trying to say or make me feel some kind of way, or you feel some kind of way. Sometimes people don't know why they do some of the craziest things that they do, and you, no matter how well you talk or how good you are and how great you've been, there tends to be somebody that finds a way. How do you get past these annoyances? That's all about. It's about the keys that really do help your joy and your sense of peace, because you can be good for your family, you can be a constant friend, you can be a believer that really practices what they preach. It's hard to be loving and caring and these things when you struggle with the keys to happiness, because everything is not going to always be hunky-dory. And if you live life, you're going to find that out real quick. So something you use that can help you stay happy. And and in this book club, so if you've been, probably know, I do a weekly book club on Mondays at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And this month of February, we are focusing on Be Happy, Keys to Happy. Inside this book, I'm going to essentially cover a couple of things. I want to go through the table of contents so you can kind of get a gist of the book. You want to, grab it. I am going to look. Matter of fact, I'm so smart. I put it over here. So get this book at author K. Lee, or you can scan code right there. It will, get you to where in this book. And I want you to hear these chapter headers because I think it'll give you a good idea. So happiness is defined. So then I wrote a chapter on why happy people, because I know people will say, well, why are you writing a book on happy people? Aren't they good? I mean, they're happy. The biggest issue that happy people have is everybody assumes because you're happy, or you don't have any problems, or you have somebody you can talk to, when the opposite is usually true. A lot of happy people care. They have the least outlets and so much that when they finally explode, it's a bad one. But the sad part is a lot of the things that they may say is true, which makes them even more hurtful for the people you say them to, because they may not be. So there is ways of easing these things out there so that you won't be like slamming people. So how can you do that? It says ignorance is bliss. People have this biggest lie, like ignorance is bliss. It is not fun. Ignorant of the enemy's devices, is not fun. Nobody got time to know what's going on in life. Too many people that want to be, doing other stuff. Spirit want to be entangled with somebody that cannot be faithful, loyal, full of betrayal, sabotaging you. Nobody. We call them frenemies. Nobody got time for them. So ignorance is not going to know what the real is. If somebody say they love you, don't act like it. The ignorance of that, you need to look at what people are doing and make your decision. Make it clear to lie to people, because I feel like you're robbing them of the decisions that they could make if they had the. So for me, I'd rather you give me the truth, whether it sounds cute, pretty, make it look nice, but that's okay. I can deal with people that are blunt. I can deal with people that are messy. But dealing with someone that's a lot so difficult for me, because I don't know where they're at. And whatever you could have done to fix it, you now can't fix it because they think ignorance is bliss. It's saving you. No, you're murdering everything. You're killing it all. If you really want to know, you know some more about that, yes, read the chapter. The next one is guilt. I do not like when people try to guilt trip me. Have you ever had people say like life ain't really that good? Like, why are you so happy? Shouldn't you realize the situation? Shouldn't you read the room? I know sometimes when people go to funerals and stuff, they'll say like, oh, this isn't a time to be happy. You don't need to be happy. But if the person lived a good life, if that person was good to you, if that person loved you and you loved them and you were around them and you gave and you did, you can tell the Father, thank you for sending me my grandmother or my mother or this person or my niece, in all kinds of age brackets. And I think the good Lord above that we could find ways to be happy on these days, because these are the most trying. When everybody is in a low vibration, it makes the funeral hard. We need happy people in the world. Enjoy the people who really need it most, to lift them out of hard times, to lift them out of depression, to lift them out of their hurt. So we need these people. And when people who are battling their own demons try to squash out the light, it's not just about everybody that needs you. So they're really coming for your energy. They're coming for your aura. They're coming for what the Father is using. It's really an attack on your whole ministry, your life. Not to let people guilt trip you, because it's really just a fear tactic, which is the next. People love to try to put you in fear, so you make decisions you can make because you're in. I don't know what's going to happen, Lord. What's going to happen? Why? What if? Shoulda, coulda, wouldas. They'll feed you all of these shoulda, woulda, couldas. Instead of just allowing you to make your decisions, to let things manifest naturally, they want to force you into a decision. Happy people, they love to corner you and make you right. Don't let that move you. Try to keep a even equilibrium. That's one of the keys to staying happy. You don't want to be on a seesaw where you're flipping up and down, because these strong contrasts will bring sugar highs. It'll make you crash. And next thing you know it. So you don't want to do that. And then you have energy vampires. These are the people who suck the life out of the room. If they cut you dry, they'll ask you a ton of questions. They just want to waste your time, waste your life, your energy, output the energy you need to be happy. These people, you need to get away from these or limit life, limit how much they can talk to you, limit how much you take in or receive what they're saying, because unfortunately, a lot of these people don't mean you no good. And I know some of these people could be relatives. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, even a spouse at times, if they don't agree with something you're doing, they can be very negative. Sometimes it's an intention to help you. Sometimes it's because they're jealous of you. And I know it's really weird to say, be jealous of me. And for a lot of us modest, this is so easy to do, where you're like, you know what? I don't know why these people like this. And some people are like this because stand why you are not, doing what they may want you to do or feeling how they want you to feel. So they try to guilt trip you in a way. And I'm going to tell you, don't let these people ride on your parade. Don't let them make you feel like, you know what I'm saying? What they bring to the table is, no, I ain't gonna let you do that. So then I want to go to the next one. This one right here was a lesson because, and it was such a hard lesson, y'all. I lost money on this. I lost energy on this, and I lost energy on you're not their God. I know there are gonna be so many people that say, "Oh my God, I need you," and they will there's the good, and then there are the people that treat you like that they got in their lives, and whatever they're gonna rub you like a genie, and you're gonna just make it happen. If they're gonna keep coming to you to pray for them, if they need money, they're gonna keep trying to come to you and borrow. If they didn't do this for their children, they're gonna come to you to fix it in their lives. Instead of you allowing them to grow up and let people fail. As happy people, we can be so stuck on people winning, allow people to use us, abuse us. Stop. Do not let people use or abuse you, because they will keep doing it. They will keep coming to you, keep asking you questions, keep trying to essentially make you more than what you really should be. Now, yes, we are sisters, friends, helpers. We're a lot of things. What we are not is someone's God. So don't let nobody make you feel like if you don't do it and they fail, it's your if they grown. Do not. You know real quick, I am not your God. Okay? And I am at peace if you fail. Decisions. These are not my choices for you. These were your choices. Hey, so much. I'm going to let you live with your choices. Now, doesn't mean that you want to help if you can, or if you feel like it or want to. But if you plan on doing nothing, move out because they're getting evicted or something, have no shame if you say, well, you know what, I'm sorry, I cannot help you on Saturday. Because what we do as happy people, we keep pushing aside the stuff and we end up burning out because everybody taps us out. And then when we're burnt out, what can you call when you, and can you imagine who's there? Nobody. When I saw that, I was like, Lord, I'm not killing myself. No mas. Because I used to feel bad. I used to be like, oh, Lord, I feel so bad. Man, I said no more. The people that I helped bailing out, I kept, paying notes or paying their phone. And I was like, you know what, Lord, they don't know no better. Do you know they still lost that car? When I stopped paying for it, they didn't have it no more. And I said, next time, I'm going to let them lose it first. If it doesn't matter so much to me. That was my biggest problem. One of them, as a happy book. This book is about my lessons learned. Some of these, no, I would say all of them. I learned by experience. And I know you are experiencing it too. If you're a person and you want to stay that way, these are things you are going. Then you're going to hit the people that will say, don't judge me. You're not God. They'll tell you you're not God. You be like, oh, thank you. You get me. Okay. You're right. I'm not God. But let me tell you something else. Okay. You, I don't have to do. You can let them know I'm not judging you is what I'm saying. The Bible says, judge the fruit by the fruit it bears. Open, watch what people do and how they spend their money and their time says a whole lot about you, with you, for you, with their money and their time. If people won't spend $dollars on themselves, I don't know that it's healthy that you can get that on you. You know, if people are not willing, I had someone tell me the way to take care of their children is a reflection of who they are. Have you noticed that? People who actually take care of their children and those that don't, and you'll see like the mother looks like banging, or the children look like they just came out of an orphanage, twisted, like just crazy. You're like, wait, y'all ain't in the same family. And then you'll see the mothers where better than the mother, and or that man is selfless. Like they care about other people to the point where they will suffer before others suffer. And maybe time management, right? So it's not about one winning over the other. It's just they need more time or they might need help. So these are people that you may want to reach out and say, let me help you. Now, with the people who may have an imbalance and the other people, then you have to ask the question, why is that? Why do you not know how to do it? Are you struggling? Do you, the parents, we understand. And we're looking at them like, So you being happy or you helping people may look different for physically jump in and do stuff. Other people, you may tell them stuff. Other people, you give it. People you watch. You don't say nothing, because if you say something, they're gonna don't throw your pearls before swine, because they'll turn around and people that if you say something positive or helpful, they'll turn around and get mad at you and get mad that you said anything. You end up not saying nothing. You don't say nothing. You watch, and they're ready to talk to you. They'll ask, "Hey, you know what? You don't really say a whole lot. Like, do you not feel no? No, I got thoughts, but make sure that it was cool with you before I said anything, because I know you got a strong opinion. I already had it because you kept telling me all the stuff you know what to do. So I didn't think you needed me." This is humbling, and you know what I'm saying. And it's a whole lot of ways to get humble. Sometimes that's the best way to humble, but that ain't always the best way to choose, right? So then the next one is fair. I know sometimes it could be despairing when you're doing a lot of the things right, and there are people in your life or around you that's not, that you're doing well. Some people will try to make you feel bad that you are prosperous. Notice that when you are doing well and life is bad, and then you get those people that come around you and say, man, you know what? God must love you real good, and and other people in the world, they could, and I don't know. I think it's odd that people can be so happy when other people are, can't pay their rent or can't feed their children. They feel sad about being blessed, or about, my peace about the Father has been, this ain't been overnight. So I don't know why people think because you're blessed financially, spiritually, mentally, you love your life, you got peace in your heart, that came with no effort. That came with a lot of effort. You had to push people out. You probably broke up with somebody, maybe got a divorce. I don't know. We go through things that it costs you nothing for your peace. It costs. The Bible says that, when we give our lives for the Father, for salvation, we're laying our whole life down. It's just, sign me up, I'm saved. No, it don't work like that. So when you're living your lifestyle and you're reaping the benefit of God, don't let no that from you. Don't let them make you feel like, oh, woe is me. The Lord loves me so much. I'm the favorite. And no, the Father ain't bow down to Baal. You ain't the only one. We ain't. He's got a lot of children, but the ones that, they know when they look at you, they can feel. This is kind of like a Cain and Abel situation, right? Cain did not want to do to get in good graces with the Father. Judgment. And this same spirit, the same mentality is still nothing new under the sun. So there are going to be brothers and sisters that are not going to like you, not because you did anything wrong or because of anything, but you make them uncomfortable because you make them have to deal with the way they're living is beneath what the Father expects, and He is. Some people's gifts, some people's prayers are rejected, like them, but because He ain't accepting it. He says, if you gave me what your gift came, but you won't give me your best. You want to give me the blink dog. You want to give me your raggedy time. You want to give me seconds before you walk into some hell. You want to come out of the club and you about to get booted. Let me stop. Let me see. This is what I be doing, y'all. Hold on. Next one is you are a vessel. You are vessels that carry, right? The Father says there are vessels of honor, vessels of dishonor, vessels of common use, and vessels that He uses for His glory. You are. And this is what brings happiness. This is what brings peace. He says, I'm the Prince of Peace. And those that are burdensome, those that are trying, struggling, those that are mentally low, physically low, sick, bring the sick to me. You know, no matter what your condition, vessel carrying something. And the question is, what are you carrying? What are you carrying? What do you want to carry? Right? Do you want to carry joy, peace, and happiness? Or are you carrying bitterness? What's the word? Indecisiveness. You can't make a decision. You're double-minded. Like, these are ways people, these are lifestyle choices. Just like happiness is a lifestyle, and you're the one that gets to choose how you're going to make that happen. We have the scriptures that will encourage you. Y'all know some good scriptures. Let me tell you, when you out here these people, you might need a word to bring it out. And you're like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to quote something. No, but the word is meant to be oil. It's meant to refresh you, to encourage you. It says, I'd rather you be cold, but don't be lukewarm. And really its meaning is when we are cold, we can be a refreshing glass of water. Have you ever been outside on a hot day and you're like, what do you want? You want cold water. If you are passing out and your temperature is like through the roof, you need cold water to correct the heat. If you are running a fever, you want what? Be dousing. So you can bring your temperature down and not boil your brain cells. Okay, that's now hot water. You need to sanitize. So if you need to get dirt off, germs, bacteria, you need hot water. Hot water does a great job with purification. But if you are neither hot nor cold, purified nor refreshed, that means what are you? What are you? You're a common vessel. You're a common vessel. All vessels on earth all belong to Him. But not all of them are bringing Him glory. Not all of them are working to rejuvenate. Not all of them are working to do something positive, progressive, and uplifting. Some of them are choosing to tear down. Foolish woman tears down her. There's a lot of them that are tearing down their own house. No, many of them don't know. Many of them don't know why their houses are being torn down. Many of them don't know what are the roots that are coming down. And I want to encourage you to get this book. If you are a happy person, because I wrote it for you. I'm a happy person, and I did a series about keeping happy people happy. This book came out of it. It was one of the greatest experience series. I am a transformational coach, licensed and all that good stuff. I'm an ordained, and I love what I do. But ultimately, I love seeing lives change. And I believe in living what I'm practicing. Loved to have been like the Messiah and say, Lord, can you take this cat? I really don't. I really don't. No, I have to. Okay, it's mine. Oh, right. Right. Some of the things we poured in our own cup, right? And then some of the things the Father's poured into our cup. But the stuff he pours into our cup is meant to purify like him. It's meant to change your life, empower you, encourage you, and to refresh you who are weak and tired and all of that. And I want to let you know, when I wrote this book, I was thinking about you. And so if you would love to join me in my book club, for my book club, I'll just put that up there just in case you're interested. So this book club, it is at Lord, I'm still a little bit new to this, so I apologize. But if you scan this, take you to my events page or my events website, and you are more than welcome to join us. It's 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We do essentially we talk about one of the chapters in the book. We just had our first meeting this past Monday, but we have 2 more meetings to go, and just honestly jump in on this book. One of the greatest things about this book is we also have an immersion that goes with it, which is basically, if you decide to come into the book club, this book club, I believe, is the participation, I think it's like $33. But in the participation, you'll get the physical book, the ebook, and you'll also pretty much get the audio book. I will essentially read the chapters to you. And so I want to make sure that you are able to keep up with the book, keep up with the reading, and finish books once a month. So this is the book for this month. And if it is in your heart or you want to read it, read my books. And I appreciate that. And it's a good read, especially if you are battling with being happy or you're a happy person and you want to stay that way. This is the book I recommend you get. I wanted to talk about that. And real quick, I wanted to mention one other book this series and that is the 21-day journal and devotional. So in this book here, so just so you know, like how this book is laid out. So I give you keys at the end of every chapter. So if you're like, okay, Crystal, like give me the highlights, because some people, I get you. You might read a little bit, skim a little bit, get the highlights. The book accommodates. 2, like this is the cover or the chapter header, so you can see what that is. Of course, I think you saw the cover. This is the back cover and all those good stuff. So if you want, then welcome to. I will add that. Able to pop that on the screen. I apologize, y'all. I pray you are too. Send me a comment or a heart or something. Like it, I appreciate you. So that's kind of like the layout of this book. It is black and white. I do love it. It's a good one. This book here is on sale. It was $19.99. Now it is $14.99. Able to get the book and participate and just be in love this month. I know love right now is like the theme for everybody. I think it's probably because it's February. Don't really know, but this book is one that I feel like works any month though. So like if you honestly, I know this is the month where everybody wants to buy flowers and chocolates and candies, and if you single or ready to mingle or somewhere in between, it is a really good book to have for yourself because happy. Having others is great. It's like a bonus, but if you only know how to be happy then I wonder if you really know the keys of being happy, because what happens when they leave, if there is a change in life, if they pass or there's a divorce or those type of things, you just to be your only way of enjoying happiness in that regard. So lovely book here, which is my 21-day devotional. So as a transformational coach, I have a series called Transform, Go Beyond Change. And this is one of my books in that collection. What I love about it is, one, so I'm all about formatting, right? Because you got to make it functional. So it does have a note section. It does give you a reflection. It does give you a 2-page devotional. So not too long. It's an easy read. It makes sense. It's fun. So then you'll get a prayer, because I'm big on prayer. Like, how many of y'all know everything? So if right now your life is on the rocks in some kind of area, pray. I cannot speak it enough. But what to pray? You know, so sometimes we get those real honest questions. Then I wanted to make sure you have a devotional. Yeah. So you got to have a scripture. So each day is start scripture. And then I talk for literally a page and a half. So like not a lot of and then after you the question, the prayer, and then you can think on, you know, for the rest of the day. And then at the end of the day, you do your notes or throughout the day. So this is how you can see how well it is functioning in say it takes to make a new habit. But I would even say too, if you miss a few days, you can finish this book within 30 days, finishing a book a month. So this is the book that we're doing for the month of March. So if you do want to get this book on authorkaylee.com, you can use to scan and order this book. This book is in full color. So some of the books I create, I'm like, Lord, I'm going to spend the most, you know, to make it what I envision. I want you to enjoy the book. I want it to be something that you see as you want to share. And honestly, a lot of people who buy books don't share them. And I don't mean they don't want other people to read them, but they won't give them away. They usually keep the books and they tell people to buy their own. So if you hear people tell you that, then it is quite normal in my world. And I apologize. This heater got me like so hot. So, but anyway, the book essentially is in full color. It is 200 and hold on, let me see what it is. I think it's how many pages is it? It is 185 pages. So it's a lot of pages, y'all. But it's good pages, and it is an easy read. I've written and published that are at the back of the book. And then these are my other authors. I am a publisher. I do help people to write. That's one of the greatest things I love about doing what I do is being able to help other people complete their journeys, finish their great. And I want people to have examples of what they can do for when they're doing their book. So I have many different that people can see that's completed, that's published. You know, to determine what might be the best one for them. Now, I know it's getting later and later, so I'm not going to keep you too long. And that is, with this book right here, make sure you see it first. It's called A Kiss from Ya. So I've been writing poetry since I would say middle school, honestly. I've been writing lyrics, screenplays, scripts, theater stuff. I mean, all my life. And when I got the chance to write a poetry book, I was nervous. I was like, Lord, will I have enough poems where people like them? But I kept putting it off, and putting it off. And then ultimately, so in this book, every has a different character in the front that celebrates culture and women that have impacted my life. So I try to use like different characters that kind of spoke to that. See too, like in this book, a lot of the pages are really easy reads. Books I've written, it's 100 and this one is 190 pages. So it's a good medium book. This book is $19.99, so it's $20. But inside this book, most favorite things. Even the introduction on this book, I felt like was this book in this poem called Negro. Yes, read it. It was lovely. Okay. And they, oh my God, you're gonna put that in there. I put they in there. So if you know anything about that poem, it's something. And Dear Sister, oh my gosh, Dear Sister was such a good poem. To read something to you, and I didn't want to read a chapter to you because that ain't got a lot of jazz. I wanted to read something to you that got jazz. At the front of every chapter, there is going to be, of course, the title, the inspirational verses. So these are the 2 verses that inspired this book. Okay, the first book came from First Peter, and it reads, "Greet one another with a kiss of love. Peace to you all who are in Christ Yeshua," aka in Christ Jesus. The second verse was 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 26. And it says, "Greet all God's people with a holy kiss." So I was like, you know what? When I think about the Father and I read, or I study and things in that nature, what really comes to mind when I do a lot of studying is like when you get an embrace from your Father, or they give you this enduring kiss on your forehead. And it's like, whatever it is, I don't know what that kiss does. Problems away. You're a woman or a man, like just someone kissing you on your forehead. It's like what I needed today. And so if you need to know you're loved, that people do, that they created all of this for you, that try to convey that as best as. This is the little that I put at the bottom, and then it goes ultimately into why I wrote this book. And it says, "My inspiration, the word kiss came to mind. A kiss from the sun beating gently upon your face makes you glow, brings calm down. A kiss brings assurance, calmness, and encouragement. I wanted to empower the woman, the husband, the children, and the stranger. The time to see how much you are truly loved. I know perfection is hard. No one can attain it, neither you nor I, the glory of the Most High. But this book was written to encourage you and show you that you do matter. No matter your state or condition, whether you believe or are religious, whether you are searching or convinced, we all need to be near love, to feel what it is. And people need more love today. I dare say we need a kiss, affection, closeness, and intimacy, a clean touch, and eases our burdens, illuminates our hearts and our souls. I know that life can be tough, jobs can go, and people can choose to stop their love. You can be dropped by those who were meant to carry you. You can be violated by people sworn to protect you. This kiss from Yah, you are loved and worthy of his love, no matter where you have been or are. He can restore, fill, and direct your path. The work he starts, he is able and willing to finish. You are not too hard to go that he cannot reach. He sent the word into hell to deliver his sheep. He will leave 99 lost soul and 99 found can all be held in his hand and in his plan. All of heaven rejoices when one who went astray comes back to his hand, fulfilling the plan he has for humanity. All interconnected, a necessity, not a commodity. You are more than what you put into a fund for your social security. You in the future are both valuable and a peculiar people made royalty. Within his kingdom, he has many mansions, or a large mansion with many rooms. He builds according to creates community. It is written, "Let us make man." And now, how can you, for a millisecond, believe you are not priceless? The breath in your body that he breathed to make you a living soul, you are of his essence with a purpose. We know in part, but one day we will learn in full. Journey with the Almighty, sit at his feet. You hear about his love, concerning, pursuing, and that will overtake you. Good and feels great. He is better than honey and sweeter than cake. I share with you from Yah. So that is the intro. And when I wrote this, I was like, yes, Lord, I want to finish. And then as I started to write this book, I honestly felt loved all over again. And I know sometimes we can get sometimes we can wonder, like, am I really loved? Like, did I miss something? Is something, did I do something that caused the other? And I know on the cross from the Messiah, it was one of the most loneliest times, to be separated from society. And for some of us, when we are in strange situations, sometimes that we regret, and we're like, Lord, how can you love me? But I want to encourage you. Matter of fact, he is love. He says that it writes in the Bible that God is love. So if you are needing love, what you're really saying you need is, you need a kiss from Yah. You need God. And so I wrote this book to help scriptures, to get power, to get, the love that they need by giving you encouragement, but also lyrical verse, because y'all know I'm creative. Do that in this. Sometimes it's hard to read the Bible. For some of us it is. And so if you won't read the Bible, I wanted to find the Bible to you. How can you make the Bible? Show me the love of it to get it. And so this was one of the ways that the Father helped me to do that. And I was in this book, because this book here, I'm telling you, it really is a wonderful table of contents. As you can see, it's a long table of contents. Poems in here is Dear Sister, They, Negro, You, Fig Tree, Will You Ever Be Ready? Will we ever be ready to die? Ever be ready to see the people we love go? And the true answer is no. To stay longer. We always want to stay longer when our time is why we're living so much more important. Our time is really, really important. And that's why it's important not to waste it. Your Savior is here. Fresh. Are you out there? The road can be lonely. Through prayer and fasting, our Father, He promised cleanse, work-life balance. Lazy is one of my favorite ones. People, the seed of fruit was dope. Don't trouble their spirit. Children. When you have children, you be ready to snap. Like, if they doing dumb stuff, you had me write this poem, Don't Trouble Their Spirit. Because sometimes when we're trying to mother or trying to father our children, we don't realize their spirit. And so I wanted to encourage you, how do we find a balance and fathering without damaging? And so that's what that poem was about. Searching our hearts. Do you believe? From royalty to good ones. Babel, good juicy stuff. The fall, Zoe, the forget what the world says. That's in that. Love never fails. Yes, it does. The cross, examine yourself. To my babies I barely knew. Beauty for ashes. Oh, beauty for your ashes. Long love. And it's about the author and a prayer. So I do in this really creative book with a creative prayer, because y'all know it. That's what I do. But where is this prayer? Let me make sure. Yeah, so it's definitely in here, and so I would definitely love for you to check out this and get inspired. It's a really, really good book. But get some creative juices in there. Lastly, I wanted to talk to y'all about something that's coming up on February 20th. My post or anywhere, everywhere, then you probably don't know nothing about this, but you up. Okay, so I see that. Hey, Big Facts. What does it say? I'm so excited. Why is it doing that? Let me see. That's a new thing. So Big Facts. Oh, look at that. Hey, Jacob, how you doing? So, okay, so on February 20th at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, if you have nothing to do online, or if you're in Indiana, to be specific, I would love to welcome you to come to my book release party. And now that I got this thing going on right here, this was a prayer answered, y'all. I was like, Lord, how can I really get out to everybody and make this easy for people to participate in the release party that I'm doing for Release Pain in this In this book, I wanted to deal with the areas that impact men, and these 6 areas that impact us all. They're going to deal with robbery, betrayal, jealousy, and anger. These 6 little are strongholds that the enemy prays to pray to, that you don't get free from, so that they can on the people that love you. So if you feel been robbed and you have never dealt with that robbed, and when I say robbed, it could be physically robbed, spiritually robbed, sexually, or romantically robbed. When you feel like somebody stole something from you, it's gonna make you what? Mad. It's a natural reaction. If somebody breaking in your house and steal your stuff, you are going to be pissed. Okay, so I want to make sure that answers have a way of what? Release. If we have a whole lot of what? Pent up aggression or disappointment or bitter, other things will settle in and become bitterness. It'll become pain, and this is a very difficult person to talk to. Okay, a lot of men, a lot of pain, and they're dealing with pain in different areas for different reasons. And I'm not saying the pain is unwarranted. What I am saying is, when we learn how to release the pain we feel by having good communication, by understanding what we're in pain from, then we can openly communicate with our spouses, our friends, our family, or know what we're looking for as we are to date or to marry and stuff like that. You do not want to go into new relationships and you don't know the root cause of your pain or your triggers and stuff like that. And even better, not the other person's job to tiptoe around your lines. It's up to you to know how to learn how to release your pain so you can stay in relationships, especially healthy ones. So the first chapter we're going to be is robbery. After we come out of robbery, we're going into injustice. I don't know about you, but I've been to a couple of court dates when it was related to different things, dates or court cases that shaped the way I wanted it to. Sometimes that I've gone to court because somebody said their dog did something they didn't do. Sometimes it's divorce court. I've been there, and you're like, I know it wasn't me. But sometimes it doesn't matter, right? They say it was you, so it was you. Racially profiling, people being the person that fits the description. Okay, how many times have some of you heard that you fit the description? I saw a video yesterday on TikTok where it was the 11-year-old girl that fit the description of someone breaking into people, handcuffed her, and she did not look like the description. But unfortunately, on the corner when someone else was robbing cars and advertising. So when we have pain like this and we don't have segues to release it, we can find ourselves honestly really, really, really messed up. And it really takes, God, honestly, to release a lot of the stuff we're going through. And what helps you to release pain is love. And you don't know how to bring love into areas in our lives. We don't know how to embrace it. We don't know how to show you how to do it with this book and with this about the essence of this book, the background. They're like, Crystal, it's got heels. Like, is this a women's book? Is it this? Is it that? No, it is all about people. So whether this book is applicable to you because the topics are dealing with, if you want to pre-order this book, you can scan this QR code, which will allow you to get a copy of the book. I have 28 copies coming, and that's what I'm going to have to start. So I know there are several people that have already RSVP'd to come to the event, and many of them are going to probably end up buying the book because away from an event like this to go and eat on because this is a meal. I'm telling you, this right here is like a buffet. The content that's in it and the readability is so easy. It's going to make you want to like eat. And next thing you know, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so full, which is a good thing. That's what I love to do. I love to make sure that people get what they need. Yeah, so robbery is in there. Injustice is in there. Unfaithfulness, deal with it. Unfaithfulness is more than just romance. It could be within your childhood. It can be people that should have held you and they didn't. People that should have protected you and they didn't. They didn't. People that made promises they didn't keep. These things are dealing with unfaithfulness. And then, of course, betrayal is a whole nother level but it's really dealing with intentional sabotage, right? And so I wanted to bring this up because it was absolutely necessary. Then you got to deal with jealousy. Jealousy is self-sabotage or sabotaging people or being is not an easy thing just to get over. I know people say, oh, just get over it. But no, you need to process through it. Bury it. Hide it. Pretend it never happened. But then again, it wasn't a dream. It was real. The pain is real. And so if you don't address the pain, this is where the evil spirit, demons, devils, and all this other stuff wants to hang out with you. And you don't want these beings hanging out with you. You want to what? Bring in the light, expose the darkness, cast it out so they leave. They can't stay in places that don't have hell or something for them to cling on to. So they're looking for you to stay. Okay, we're going to talk about anger. And with anger, with honestly the reasons why we have now there is righteous anger, but a lot of us, the Father says, humans or humanity is not really capable of righteous anger, so it's really reserved for Yah because He knows how to what? Take fire in His bosom and He won't be burned. But for us, we gonna be mad. Some of us might start cussing, some of us might start fighting. And I know some folks right now that told me they need this book because they're dealing with anger. I'm talking people that were doing the life and then life hit them. And so it isn't just reserved for certain people. All of us we just need the Father to witness and to show us, to carry us in these trying moments. So that's what this book is about. That's what this event is about. So if you would like to come to the event, again, on 45 p.m. To 8:15 p.m. and you can RSVP. There it is. You can RSVP to attend this event. The event is free. It is in Indianapolis, Indiana, in person. But if you want to come on, you can scan this QR code, and that will let me know that you are interested in getting information and making sure you have access to the live. So I'm going to make sure you have access to the live and let you know where to catch it, where to find it. And we're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to potty. And we're going to learn more about this book. I'll give you crash course now. So if you've been on the fence, like, should I buy the book? Am I going to get the book? I'm definitely getting the book. Now you got a little bit more. I'm going to have a little bit more next Thursday. So go ahead and do it. All right. If you're like Crystal, you came to my event, I'm going to be so happy to see you. And then next, did you RSVP? Because if you RSVP, then that means I have enough food to feed you. If you're coming in person, so I know to expect you. Okay. Love and hug. Y'all have yourselves a beautiful evening. I got some writing to do because I got to let it go with Melvina. But anyway, I love y'all. I really so much for supporting me. Thank you for the minis I've been seeing you. Thank you for your comments. Jacob, I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing what life brings and what's it going to bring in your world. I'm looking forward to these testimonies coming out. Thank y'all for ordering the signed copies from my books. Well, we're ready. We're going to be doing this thing. So y'all have a beautiful day, a wonderful evening. Because y'all see where I'm at? Like, I'm in writer's mode. It's moments in time. But anyway, I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Until my next stream and all that good stuff, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I am about to, yes, I do see it.